President Biden meeting with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, and their Democratic counterparts on the debt ceiling. The meeting comes a few weeks ahead of the June 1st deadline put forth by Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. It would mark a possible government default on its $31 trillion plus debt.
That's right. And for all of the hoopla, so to speak, surrounding today's long-awaited showdown between President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy on that debt ceiling, next to no one in Washington expects much from it. And yet it takes place against a ticking clock and the prospect of grave damage to the U.S. economy.
Here with more, Chief White House Correspondent James Rosen in our D.C. studio with more. Hey, James.
Bob and Katrina, good afternoon. Republican congressional leaders head into this meeting seeing the overall political landscape as being more favorable to their effort to make the president yield and start negotiating on a hike to the debt ceiling. That optimism stems from the fact that in the 97 days since the president and Speaker McCarthy last met back in February, the only major change has been the House passage of Speaker McCarthy's plan, the only one on record, which couples a hike to the debt ceiling with trims to federal spending. This interval has also served to demonstrate that the Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, does not have 60 votes for a so-called clean hike to the debt ceiling. Accordingly, the GOP messaging we can expect to hear after this session ends is Biden's default is right around the corner. Now, moments ago, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was asked how President Biden will measure success in today's sit-down.
People have asked, well, will the president give Speaker McCarthy an off-ramp, an exit strategy? The exit strategy is very clear. Do your job. Congress must act. Prevent a default. That's what a success, not for him. It's not about the president. It's about the American economy. It's about the American people. That's what the president views as success.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has told McCarthy that absent swift action, the U.S. could reach its debt ceiling and begin defaulting on its payments as soon as June 1st. Given that fact and the scarcity of remaining workdays in the month of May, when both the president and the Congress will be in town fewer than 6, congressional Republicans were astounded at today's announcement by the White House that the president intends to travel before the month is out to New Guinea. Asked about that, Jean-Pierre said that the president can be the president from anywhere. Bob and Katrina.
Indeed, and soon I'll be looking up the exact location of New Guinea. Thank you, James. Joining us with more, member of the House Budget Committee, Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter. Congressman, what's going to happen with this? I mean, everybody knows this is kind of a game of chicken, and I've always felt like it's whoever looks the worst, if it fails, they're the ones that are going to blink.
Well, they are. Look, we're going to raise the debt ceiling. In fact, we've already proposed doing it in the House. We passed the Limit, Save, and Grow bill, and it raises the debt ceiling. It raises it $1.5 trillion or to March 31st of 2024, whichever one comes first. And that is the way you do it. You know, the Democrats, the president, he has no plan whatsoever. We've got a plan. And in fact, our plan is favored by 57% of all Americans. There's a difference in raising the debt ceiling and raising the debt ceiling responsibly. And that's what we are proposing. We're proposing to raise the debt ceiling responsibly.
All right, we look forward to seeing what happens with that meeting later today. But for now, I'd like to turn to the border, where we know that Title 42 expires this Thursday, and many are asking there, well, what comes next? Many saying we're not prepared. Democrat Congressman Vicente Gonzalez has an idea: extend Title 42. Now, this article coming from Newsmax.com. Congressman, do you think that could be a solution?
Well, it could be a solution. You know, Title 42 is not the permanent solution. We all understand that. At some point, it's got to end. But you got to have a plan. And this administration, much like the debt ceiling, they don't have a plan. They don't have a plan on how we're going to end Title 42. We know we're going to have an influx of immigrants during that time. We know that we've got an influx already. We've had 5 million people cross that border illegally. 1 million gotaways crossed it illegally. We know that we have seized enough fentanyl to kill 1.3 billion people. Unbelievable.
All right, Congressman Buddy Carter, as you said, we got to have a plan, and it certainly looks like we do not with the pending expiration of Title 42 on Thursday. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.